This ain't what I want to see y'all, but I think I'm about to watch it though.
A ring worn by a Hollywood icon left a trail of death and misfortune for everyone who touched it, from co-stars to lovers to thieves. Souvenirs swiped from the Gettysburg battlefield keep finding their way back in the mail, returned by people convinced a rock ruined their lives. And an ancient stash of gold vanished without a trace. The man who stole it, along with his family and generations after them, were plagued with terrible luck. These are real cursed artifacts said to bring death to anyone who owns them. And we begin with a tale from the very early days of Hollywood. Silent film star Rudolph Valentino's first lead role in 1919 launched him into stardom. And by the time he was filming a movie called Young Raja in 1922, he was a Hollywood heartthrob. But the movie flopped. Hey, no sweat. Every actor's been in some duds, but this was only the beginning of a streak of bad luck, and some say that his misfortune was thanks to a tiger's eye ring he started wearing during the shoot. In the years that followed, Valentino went through 2 messy divorces, he got arrested and tried for bigamy, and he went on to fight with his studio over money. Then in 1926, Valentino suddenly collapsed at the Hotel Ambassador in New York. He had brutal stomach pain. At first, doctors thought it was appendicitis, but once they opened him up, they realized it was way worse. He had perforated ulcers and peritonitis, which is basically a serious infection in the lining of your abdomen. For a minute, it actually looked like he might pull through, but a few days later, the infection spread. He developed pneumonia, and without antibiotics back then, there wasn't much doctors could do. Just a little over a week after that collapse, he was dead at only 31. But this is not where the story ends. Not by a long shot. His fiancée, actress Paula Negri, started wearing the ring, and she ended up getting seriously ill. She gave it to her lover, singer Russ Colombo, who was then killed in a freak shooting accident. Colombo's best friend Joe Casino then took it, only to die after being—
That's why I'm telling you, hey, if y'all one of the people who go out to thrift stores and get shit just because you think it look cute and all this bullshit, watch yourself because you never know who is gifting these things to these stores. You never know what they done, or you never know who done gave it to them and what they done before they gave it to them. That's why they giving that shit away. So understand when you go out to Goodwill and back to back thrift spot and all this shit, whatever the name was, Happy Place thrift store, or whatever the case is, you going out here, you getting this shit, you better watch what you're doing, man, because you never know what people can be doing to these things. I want you to understand it is such things as witches and warlocks. This shit not a joke. You motherfuckers think this shit a joke, and it's not. Shit ain't a joke. Shit is very surreal. It's very surreal. So that's a little message to the wise. You know what I mean?
being hit by a truck. His brother Dell took it next, and then it was stolen by a burglar. Lucky for him too, because that thief, James Willis, was later killed by police.
Damn.
He died with the tiger eye ring still on his finger. Today, the ring's locked away in an LA bank vault, which of course has been robbed since it's been there. People have been known to take rocks from the Gettysburg battlefield, thinking, it's just a harmless souvenir. But then they've mailed them back with desperate letters about all the terrible stuff that happened after. A park ranger named Maria Brady says the park regularly receives packages with stones, twigs, or dirt, and, notes like, "I took this and everything went wrong, please, I'm sorry." One guy returned 3 rocks in 2006 after a string of injuries, a divorce, and a prison sentence. Another person returned a single stone and wrote that they'd lost their job, gone through multiple surgeries, and had every relationship fall apart since taking it. The park doesn't advertise this stuff, but the rangers take it seriously. They've got a whole file full of apology letters. The Rain Woman is one spooky painting. There's something about it that just makes me feel off. Created by the Russian artist Svetlana Telets in 1996, the painting portrays a pale, thin woman with a strange hat standing in the rain. It's not a disturbing scene in itself like a lot of other pieces of art on this list, but there's something very unsettling about this figure. On top of that, there are these stories surrounding the piece. For one, Telets herself said that for about 6 months before she even started the piece, she felt like she was being watched. Not like, I think someone's looking at me from across the street kind of feeling. No, more like there was something in the room with her constantly. That kind of creeping presence you can't see but feel in your bones. When she finally began the painting, it got even stranger. Telets claimed her hand didn't feel like it was her own while she worked. She described it like something else was guiding her brush, like she was just the tool and not the artist anymore. The painting has passed through several hands over the years, and nearly every person who's owned it reports some kind of emotional disturbance. Chronic insomnia, recurring nightmares, and a sense of despair so heavy it can actually drive people to return the painting. Some say they could feel her watching them at night, not just from the wall, but from places she shouldn't be, like the foot of their bed or just outside the doorway, staring through the small crack in the door leading to the shadowy hallway beyond it. It's said that the Rain Woman can leave the painting. Owners have reported seeing her walking around their homes in the middle of the night. They'd catch a glimpse of a soaking wet woman out of the corner of their eye, only to look and see nothing there. It's also said that the longer you keep her, the worse things get. She attaches herself to you, feeds off your mood, makes your thoughts darker. Doesn't matter if you hide her in the closet, turn her to face the wall, or even lock her in storage, that feeling of being watched, being followed, it just sticks. And that's why nobody wants this painting around for long. Arshel Gorky's life was a tragedy almost too haunting to...
I wouldn't want that motherfucker anyway. Instantly, hell no. I don't want no picture with a long face in my house unless it's motherfucking Ghostface. That's it.
Believe. Born in Armenia, he suffered unimaginable hardships even before he made it to the United States. His mother died when he was really young during a famine. His father was unable to care for him, so he sent him to an orphanage. As an adult, Gorky's life just continued to...
I might gotta elaborate for some people who don't know. Because everybody think that he is called something else and that's his name. No, Scream is not his name. Ghostface is fucking Scream. Scream is not Scream, okay? Scream is named Ghostface. For you motherfuckers who don't really know who grew up just be talking about Scream all the time. I was one of those motherfuckers. Now I want a Scream mask. Bro, that shit is not called a Scream mask. I mean, it is. It is, but it ain't, bro. Bro, his name is Ghostface, my nigga. It ain't no goddamn Scream, okay?
Spiral into chaos. He lost his studio to a fire. He was diagnosed with colon cancer, discovered his wife was cheating on him, and in a horrific accident, broke both his neck and arm. The guy just could not get a break. So of course, his mental state crumbled, and some say his terrible luck seeped into his art. Many of his works from 1904 to 1938 are said to be cursed. People have reported these paintings mysteriously falling off walls or just bursting into flames, often with no clear explanation. But the real creepy part is the black-haired ghost that allegedly appears near the paintings, dressed in a blue overcoat. Some people who've worked closely with Gorky's art claim to have seen the figure with their own eyes. Alright, some ghost stories, nothing all that crazy, but to top all of this off, on March 1st, 1962, a plane carrying 87 passengers, 8 crew members, and 15 of Gorky's artworks crashed just after takeoff. It went down just 2 minutes after leaving the airport, killing everyone on board. The wreckage of the plane was found in a swamp, and along with it, the destroyed pieces of Gorky's art. Coincidence? Yeah, likely, but I gotta say, I'd probably be a little uncomfortable having one of these guys' pieces in my home. This painting, simply called The Anguished Man, is one of the creepiest and most infamous haunted artworks in the world. The story goes
I've
that it
heard
was
about this
painted by
piece
an
before.
artist who used his own red bodily fluid mixed into the paint. The artist, who's unknown, allegedly created the piece in a fit of madness, pouring his own agony into the work. Since then, the painting has been rumored to be a cursed piece. Its last known owner, Sean Robinson, from Cumbria, England, claims the thing is just no good. The painting was passed down to him from his grandmother, who told him the creepy story about the artist who supposedly took his own life shortly after completing the piece. Well, shortly after Robinson brought the thing home, strange things started happening. He'd hear haunting noises like disembodied laughter or crying. He'd have this heavy feeling of dread whenever he was close to the thing. And at one point, he even spotted this shadowy figure lurking in his home one night. Eventually, he decided to just lock the thing away in the attic and hasn't taken it out since. Love Letters by Richard King may not look like anything out of the ordinary, but it has a very eerie story behind it. The painting, which hangs in the Driscoll Hotel in Austin, Texas, depicts a girl holding flowers and a letter. Oddly though, guests staying at the hotel have reported feeling uneasy when they're near it, often talking about this unsettling energy in the room where it's displayed. Some say they've seen the painting's eyes follow them as they walk by. Others claim they've felt cold spots or heard faint whispers coming from the painting itself. But why is this? Well, supposedly this piece is haunted by the alleged spirit of a little girl who died in the hotel a long time ago. It's said that the girl's ghost is drawn to the painting, causing strange disturbances around it. It's not uncommon for staff to find the painting's frame slightly tilted, or noticing the girl's expression is briefly changed, as if there's some sort of entity trapped in the canvas. Mia Novia is not just a portrait.
Get that shit the fuck up out of that ASAP. You gonna have some trouble. All right, hold on. We're gonna get back to that. This gonna be my last reaction, y'all. Then I'm getting off here. I know we kind of went.